We've cleared so much native vegetation in the way that we've built over the last couple of 100 years. I think we've really got to take a more intelligent approach about how we put our homes into the landscape. My name's Jamie Durie. I'm the designer and the landscape designer for Bella House, and it also happens to be our own family home. So the house is elegantly situated on Pittwater, deep waterfront, facing west out towards the national park here at Ku-ring-gai National Park, West Head, on the northwest tip of what's called Stokes Point, right before Palm Beach in Northern Beaches here in Sydney. The fact that the site sits in an E4 environmental zone and a protected spotted gum forest was an asset to us because we wanted the house to feel like it was really melded into this forest. So the site's on a 37-degree slope, and that gives us a lot of flexibility because we're able to sort of step the house down the escarpment and maximize unobstructed views from every level of the home and every bedroom. But from an engineering point of view, it was extremely hard to excavate and get our piling and shoring done so that we could then start to put all our platforms down and start building the house. So our brief for this entire project was to have a house that was as sustainable as possible, yet without compromise. And that meant that every single element that we put into the house had to be audited. We had to find a way of meandering the house or wrapping the house around all the existing trees, but also making the most in stepping down the levels on the terraced front here so we could maximize the views towards the waterfront. Spending that time on the site and watching where the sun rises and falls throughout the seasons really gave us the ability to put together the original sketch. I then collaborated with Sylvester Fuller. We went about the task of turning this rough sketch into a thing of beauty. So the reason we named it Bella House is because it's the Indigenous First Nations term, the Garigal people here in Pittwater, for sun. So sun house, because we face the sunset. So I guess my objective when I first sketched the shape of this house was I wanted to have soft corners. So all of the corners have a 1 meter radius on the house, and that reduced its block type form in the landscape and it softened the whole house, both interior and exterior. And I also wanted to make people feel like they were leaving the landscape, coming through the front door, and then entering another landscape that, is suspended, almost like hanging gardens, if you like. The entire living room is surrounded by this beautiful hanging planter box that just spills energy and life back into the living room. So at the top of the mezzanine level, you've got a vintage piano on the right and a beautiful set of stairs that we crafted down the central spine of the house on 2 levels. And that's been built out of spotted gum. The stairs are an interesting one because they form a divider. They separate the entertaining space from the living space. They're a shelving system, and they're a support system for the floating staircase itself. So they're really a sculptural piece, if you like, the vertebrae for the house. Although it's a multi-level home, we really only wanted to live on 2 levels. And so when you come down that first set of stairs, you arrive in the living and entertaining space. You've got the beautiful kitchen with the butler's pantry, and then when you come out to the main living and dining area, you've then got level surface straight out into the lounge room. You open those beautiful big sliding timber doors and you're straight out onto the pool terrace and onto the infinity edge pool itself, and then breathtaking views of Pittwater. Only 1 flight of stairs down, and that's all of the sleeping level. So that's all the bedrooms, the children's rooms, and then you've got our primary suite, which when you open those 2 doors, you've got a his and hers wardrobe on the north and the south, a beautiful bathroom on the south side, and our primary suite sitting on the north side where we can take in those beautiful views. And of course the pool, which drops into the bulkhead, which was the only way we were able to get a level swimming pool with the terrace above by lowering the pool into the bulkhead of the living room. So we were lucky enough to inherit an existing ocean pool which was built back in the 50s. And we love it because the kids play down there. It's got a private beach. We've got an existing slipway there that we've refurbished. For us, that's where we spend all summer and half of winter, to be honest. So the living room was really important to us, and the materials that went into them are paramount because that's kind of what we wrap our family and friends in. And when you think about the house being built out of concrete, for us it was really important that what goes over the top of that concrete and what sits in it is inspired by nature. Neolith helped us achieve that. We've used Neolith in various areas throughout the home. In the kitchen, we used the Calcutta, and that gave us this beautiful white marble effect that ran both on the splashbacks and over the top of the bench tops. In the primary suite, we used Calcutta for the front of all of the joinery. And then to mix it up in one of the bathrooms, we used Colorado Dunes, which sort of has a warmer hue to it. All of that Neolith, feels like beautiful, natural marble, only it's carbon-free sintered stone, which is pretty special. For us, this wasn't just about building our own family home. It was about proving a point that you can have everything you want. You can have all of the luxury, you can have all of the beautiful design, but you can do it responsibly and sustainably. And our goal is for this house to be off-grid, to cost nothing to run. We can truly be independent if we manage this right.